Crashing in the air tonight. Come on now. Sing with me. Hold on. Come on now. I've been waiting for this cycle for all my, about 7 to 10 years. Hold on. Come on now. Woo! All right, it's been a long day. Not gonna lie. Just got back for a few minutes. Second fire of the day, waiting for the third, and switching out rigs. And I thought, you know what? Let's do ourselves a little bit of a live stream. And it's time to hit the hard stuff. I'm not joking. We're not doing regular water. We're doing bubbly. Got a couple stories to share with you. Do I seem like Jack Nicholson? Well, I don't even know. I'm not going to try and be funny today. Guys, got a couple great stories. It's about the current state of the markets. Okay, so let's try and put our thinking caps on and roll through this amazing information. First story is out of Zero Hedge. Both stories are out of Zero Hedge. Usage of the Fed's emergency bailout facility hits new high. Money market inflows continue. All right. Now, let's just stop there real quick. There are so many people, so many of us, normal people that think a little bit bigger, maybe don't take a lot of showers. It's been a long day, that understand the market's collapsing. And then we also understand that a crash, good old-fashioned market crash, doesn't happen just overnight. Father Time doesn't wake up. Go inflation, deflation. He just doesn't hit the switch. It takes some time. But this story right here, there's so many stories I bring you that just prove that we are in so much trouble. And it's exciting because once you know that and you truly understand it and you're like, all right, I'm doing something about it, I'm getting ready for it. This is the kind of stuff that should get you pumped. All right? All right, here we go. Think about this. The Fed's emergency bailout facility hits new high. Well, there's only one reason for them to be shoving so much money towards the bank's way. It's because they are in a liquidity crisis. They do not have enough assets to offset the debts, right, or enough deposits coming in to offset the debts that they went out with. Their balance sheet is shrinking due to the bond market issues, to the assets on their books that they loaned money for, like homes and houses that are falling in value, cars, things like that. So the Fed is bailing out the banks as fast as they can. But this is a sinking ship, and the Fed bailout facility, the bucket is only so big. It'll only get so much water as they're trying to bail the ship out. And it's just not working out. It says U.S. money market funds saw a third straight week of inflows to a new record high of $5.15 trillion. Insane. You know, you compare the Fed repo window, how much money it was pushing out in January of 2009. Mind you, they didn't open up the Fed repo window until 5 months after Lehman Brothers collapsed, and about 10 months or 9 months after Bear Stearns crashed. So if you want to just look at it from that standpoint, this is so much worse than the Great Recession. I don't even know what we're going to call it. The mini depression, the massive recession, the humongoid recession. I mean, there's got to be like some kind of cool sports drink out there. What's that one from Idiocracy that everybody was drinking in Idiocracy and they're feeding the plants? Was it Mondo or something like that? Point being is they're going to have to come up with this new word, because new phrase, new way of explaining, because this is not going to be your average, ordinary, run-of-the-mill recession. Banks are in trouble. Retail money market funds saw inflows for the 15th straight week. The decoupling between money market inflows, fund inflows, and bank deposits continues. So now look at this. This is M1 money supply at its finest. No, I'm sorry, M2. I didn't go to Coolidge. Point being is M2 money supply. What is that? That is the accounting of all cash, checks, cashier's checks, savings, deposits, things like that. This is pretty much that. All right. Red line is oh, come on now. Come on. The red line is M2. The green line is money markets. See, everyone's in trouble. They know that their savings account, their checking account, is making butt kiss, for lack of better terms, and that they know that if they keep their money in there, they are literally losing money every time they go to the grocery store. Their purchasing power every day is going down. So they're moving it. Savings accounts. All right, let's take this serious, Ninja. The Fed's balance sheet shrank. This is just bubbly water, right? For the 8th straight week. Well, that's really nice. See, the Fed wants to get rid of all of the assets on its books. Why? Because they're total crap. They're worthless. They're non-performing assets. They're assets that they had to take on from banks that are failing. So you know, that's pretty much grade A crap. And so they are selling it. Now, you got to ask the question, where are they selling it? Oh, I know. There's a bunch of pension funds out there that'll gobble that crap up. You see, the scary thing is if you were allowed to invest your way, more than likely, with a little bit of financial education and a lot of patience, you could outperform your pension fund. But when you put a bunch of money in your pension fund, there's all these people just grabbing little pieces. Oh, I manage your money, so I'm going to take a piece. And this guy's like, well, I copied paper for the dude that managed your money, so I took a piece. And then there's like, well, I'm the bank. We just always rip you off. And so we're taking a piece. And the point being is that you just make so much. Nancy Lyon, thank you so much. And it's really sad. So the Fed can push all of their crap assets right onto you. Hoping, now think about this, how many people are on fixed incomes? Now I'll give you an example. The difference between defined benefits and defined contributions. Right now, we have defined benefits, right? Or no, sorry, DC, defined contributions. So a lot of people, they work really hard, the people that have a retirement, not everyone has a retirement, and they go around, thank you, David, and they go, okay, I'm gonna retire X amount of years and I'm gonna make a certain percentage of my pay. Well, at the end, and they usually do the whole high 3 calculation stuff, and let's say you're like making 100 grand a year, and they go, okay, when you retire, you're gonna make 80% of that. Okay, cool, so that means I'm gonna be making 80,000. Here's the problem. For the next 20, 30 years that you live, you're gonna be making 80 grand. And as inflation keeps going up, because the Fed, they wanna tell you, a lot of people wanna say they don't know what they're doing, but they actually do. It's awkward. They want to buy up all your crap. They like crashes. They love them. You don't have enough to survive, right? So what happens is, thank you, Nick, for the super chat. What happens is the Fed right now wants to shove more crap, bad performing assets that they bought from the banks that they run, that they own, that own them. Say it's a private bank, right? And you're only going to make X amount. Your pension fund is going to give you that money. Well, what happens if the pension fund goes poof? And I believe that's going to happen one of these days. Scary, scary truth. I really do believe that. And it sounds crazy because so many of my family and friends that know me or know me for years, even before I ever started YouTube, they're like, why are you still working as a fireman? Well, it's because I have to be at a certain level of income to debt or in cash flow coming in before I feel comfortable walking away from a guaranteed paycheck, right? Smart people don't do that. Wealthy people, successful people, they grind, they work harder, they figure out, they have goals. And the thing is, I know that all of this could go, even now with all this could go away tomorrow. And so I want to walk the walk, right? And try and explain this to people because right now, as the Fed's collapsing, the banks are collapsing, the Fed repo window is an all-time high. They are selling, they're liquidating. The Federal Reserve Chairman, Jerome Powell, said in his last remarks, and he said it in one little line, we are going to aggressively liquidate our balance sheet, or sell off our assets. And it was so quick, the way he worded it, and so fast, I went, that was the most important shot across the bow. That was the warning to all of the banks. We're looking to liquidate this stuff. And in the past, every time the Fed has liquidated these poor performing assets, the markets have not done well. Interesting. All right, so let's move on. As far as QT or quantitative tightening is concerned, the Fed is back to selling with securities down almost $33 billion in 1 week to its lowest since July of 2021. The usage of the Fed's emergency bank bailout facility. Oh, and look, here's a really cool chart. See, we're buying up all the bad assets from the Fed. Sorry, my nails just been a little dirty. Now we're selling them, all the crap back into your pension fund. And then this chart, it's all black. Doesn't mean anything. Usage of the Fed's emergency bank bailout facility rose by $606 million to a new record high at 106 billion. It's billion with a B, not million, billion. So it's like Fed repo facility is just going more. Banks are like, we're screwed, give us more. When's it gonna end? I don't think it's gonna end well. I don't think Bank of America is gonna get its soft landing. Just saying. Talk amongst yourselves. Type 1 if you think soft landing. Type 2 if you think we're screwed. We're going to smash right into that mountain. The plane's going straight in. It's augering in. As a matter of fact, it might auger in, fly backwards, turn around, and auger in the back too. That's really what you're voting for when you get to front smash, back smash. It's that bad. The breakdown from the Fed's H4-1 table. I don't even know what that is, but I know it comes before H-4.2. Quantitative tightening down $33 billion, dominated by $32 billion in sales of U.S. treasuries. Why would the Fed be selling treasuries? Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm going to tell you why. It's because they know interest rates are going higher, and that crap's going to get cheaper. So get rid of it now. I'm not joking. People that think the Fed is going to pivot anytime soon, very, very confused. You're like, you think you know, but you don't know. It's like the Fed's like, we have ourselves an international crisis going on. The dollar is sinking, but it is still the best smelling turd in the punch bowl. Whoever gave me the super chat, thank you. It ran right by. So we must do something, raise the rates. And that's exactly what the Fed sounds like when they're backed up against the wall. They sound like a weirdo. It says other credit extensions, quote unquote, FDIC loans, down $4 billion to $148 billion. Fed is giving the FDIC an extension of credit. Wow. A private bank giving a government entity that's supposed to be insuring private banks a loan. What can go wrong there? Jeez, we're screwed. All right, let's move on to the next story. It's out of Zero Hedge. Stand by. I'm expecting at any minute I have to run out the room. Bond rout continues as rates, volume spikes, and dollar struggles into NFP. It's out of New Squawk. Here's a snapshot. Equities down, treasuries down, crude up, dollar flat. Rear view. U.S. ISM services and PMI disappoints. U.S. jobless claims in line. There's too many acronyms. Move on. The market wrap. Stocks were ultimately just slightly lower on Thursday, where indices recovered into the New York afternoon. But it's still smoky over there. As the acute treasury bear steepening lost momentum. I wonder if it's like that bear that everyone thinks is a human over in China right now. It's how bad is it? That's in China, right? Like how bad is it? Like, hey, we need to really spruce this zoo up. Get the bears to do something crazy. Well, they're not gonna. Well, just put on a costume like a bear and wave at them. That'll get people going. I think it's in China. It says here, on which the spike in yields, particularly at the back end, appears to be driven by continued concerns over the ramped Treasury supply calendar announced this week, but also some forced selling concerns given Fitch's downgrade earlier in the week. Bill Ackman announcing he was short in size late on Wednesday and was the cherry on the cake. In Forex, the DXY was ultimately flat with risk currency. I'm sorry, a DXY was flat. I was just expecting it to just be bulging, you know? It's just flat. Thank you, Johnny, for the super chat. It's just sad. Just DXY just doesn't know which way to go. Ultimately flat with risk currencies pairing losses as stocks recovered through the U.S. session. While havens, yen and Swissy. Ooh, the Swissy. You know, if things are going bad, we just need to rename our currencies. Like, it's not the dollar anymore. It's the dollar. You know, it's just throw a little bit of like an accent over it. The dollar. What do you have a problem with? Don't you like the paper? It smells so nice. We could just print up some more. If that one's dirty, we just make new ones. Pretty soon they're all going to be illegal because there are going to be germs on them and drug dealers doing stuff. We're going to get rid of it. Going to a digital dollar. Does anyone have a doll hair? So the Swissy and the yen, which are, I guess, News Squawk is saying havens. Who's using the yen as a haven? The Japanese currency is in trouble. It's so bad that last November, the Japanese said, pretty soon we start selling the dollar. That's how they sound too, I'm just saying. Note that sterling was flat where the currency failed to extend a sell-off despite the Bank of England's downgrade to a slower 25 basis points. Look at us. We used to be like just crushing it. 50 basis points. Now we're just mellow. 25. 25, stay alive. Super simple, guys. Super simple. Just a little nubbins. Just gotta squeeze it a little bit more. Maybe there is something to be said from the stability perspective for the lack of material dollar appreciation despite the 15 basis point spike in bond yields. Now, isn't that funny? I got to be honest with you. All these people that think the Federal Reserve's in control of the bonds, they're not. You see, look at what happened the other day. Perfect example. The Fed went and raised rates 25 basis points, last week? Markets, the dollar got a little strong, gold sold off. Okay. And then the next week, the U.S. credit's downgraded, and all of a sudden, that's when the bonds started moving. You see, last week, when they raised rates, bonds came down a little bit. Now they're pushing up. Well, the Fed doesn't like that. And they're like, oh, well, I guess this bad credit crap isn't good for the bond market. No, it's not, Fed, but it's okay. It's your fault. We're just gonna call a spade a spade. And the point is that this is gonna continue. Can you imagine what will happen next month when the Fed raises rates again? Now, they may pause one more time. They've said they're going to only raise one more time throughout this year, but I find that hard to believe, especially on the eve of the BRICS meeting in August, looking to solidify a new currency backed by gold. And the US dollar is just sitting there barely paying out anything. So I think that we are going to see, thank you, Stardana. It's been a long day. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little tired. I need coffee. I believe that rates are gonna keep going up. And I think that there is gonna be a mass panic this fall. And when we start seeing the sheer amount of people not paying their student loans to the government, I don't know if there's enough IRS agents in the world to go fix that problem. I mean, I'm sure Biden's gonna make sure of it. He'll maybe hire another 50,000, give them all ARs, because that's for them, not for you. I know I'm in California. Point being is this. It's time to sit back, eat some popcorn, save some money, get out of debt. Sit back, have a clear head, breathe deeply. These are opportunities that are coming. They're bad things. They're only bad things to the people that aren't ready for them. So that's how you have to look at it. When you're ready, is good. When you're not ready, is the bad. Guys, I hope you have a great day. I'm gonna go get ready because I got a feeling we're about to leave. Hope you have a great day. The Economic Ninja is out.